I have everybody, I think. I see Lance is with us, and Ashley, Jacob, Ulu Forlarin, Al Fusco, Jack Farr, Joe Donat, Scott Manley, Maria Chow, Sandra Jacobson, Rob Parrington, Julie Richmond, Nicole Farmer, Mike Sweeten, Jay Schaffeld, Laura Burns, and Lizzie Phillips, and Jason Morris. And then I have somebody else here, 561 5385. No, 1-845-615-3852. Who is that?
That's me, Harry Robb. I called in.
Oh, okay, Rob, good. All right, so I guess that'll do for introductions, and we'll go right directly to an opportunity for public comment. Does anyone have anything to say? Going once, going twice. Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, which is to accept the meeting summary from June 9th, 2020. I have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Who is that?
Scott Manley.
Scott. Ashley, you got this, Ashley?
I do.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any comments or questions regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask for a vote to approve. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, it passes. This is going to be a very brief meeting, I think. Thanks for your efficiencies. I'll go to number 4, which is Orange County Transportation Council Resolution 2020-9, endorsement of Transit Orange performance management targets. And I'll ask Ashley to give us an update.
Okay, so we did talk about this at the planning committee meeting in August. So this resolution, they're mowing the grass outside. I'm sorry if you can hear that. This is to endorse the Transit Orange performance measure target updates. So the FTA Transit Asset Management Rule requires transit operators to develop and maintain a transit asset management plan. And so Transit Orange is one of the designated recipients in Orange County, and so they're updating their targets. So they can be seen in attachment 1 to the resolution. Does anyone have any questions about these targets?
Any questions, anyone? Is there anything further we need to share with them, Ashley, on this?
They're pretty straightforward. They show the asset class and then the useful life benchmark in years and the target, which is the % of vehicles that have met or exceeded the useful life benchmark.
Okay, hearing no other comments or questions, I'll ask for a motion to accept this.
I'll make it Jacob to wheel.
Jacob, thank you.
Second, John Ravella.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you. Next, number 5, Orange County Transportation Council Resolution 2020-10, endorsement of the New York State DOT 2021 safety targets. Ashley, I'll ask you again to elaborate, please.
Okay, so we have adopted these state targets for the past several years. So just as a refresher, the Highway Safety Improvement Program rule requires states to set these performance measure targets. So this is an annual action that OCTC takes to support the New York State DOT establish statewide highway and non-motorized performance measures. And so by agreeing to support the NISDOT safety targets, we're saying that OCTC will plan and program projects that contribute to realizing these targets. Let me bring up the table for you. So there's the table in attachment 1. And so the 5 performance measures are number of fatalities, rate of fatalities per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, number of serious injuries, the rate of serious injuries per 100 million VMP, and the number of non-motorized fatalities and non-motorized serious injuries. Does anyone have any questions on the safety targets for the state?
All I can tell you is I just got off I-95 a little while ago, and we definitely need some safety targets. People, it looks like the new 65 is now 80, and it's just
right.
treacherous. So, Anyway, any other comments from anyone? If not, then I'll ask for a motion to approve this.
Make a motion, Sweeten.
Second?
Joe Donat, seconds, Harry.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? It is passed. Thank you. And our third resolution, Orange County Transportation Council Resolution 2020-11, TIP Amendment 20-6. Ashley.
So this TIP amendment is adding two new DOT projects. Both are for resurfacing. The first pin, 881537, is to resurface I-84 from the Route 6 interchange in the town of Greenville to the Route 17M interchange in the town of Wawayanda. And the second pin, which is 881538, is resurfacing Route 17K from Route 300 to the City of Newburgh line. So those both are coming in as new projects, and there's no offset needed for them. So, any questions?
I have one question, being a former Newburgh City manager. Maybe Lance can answer this for me. I'm always puzzled by it. Why are we stopping at the city line instead of going right to the river?
I believe, and Sandra can correct me if I'm wrong, in my recent discussions with Mayor Harvey, the city is responsible for certain segments of the state highway within its jurisdiction. So they would need to use CHIPS funds for those segments. We did do a little piece for them last year in conjunction with another project, but it's a model that I think is preset prior to today. So they're on the hook for some of that work.
Yeah, I think it's a model that was established in the 20th century, and maybe it's time to revisit that. I just always am curious as to why, even in the county government, we have over 300 miles of highways. None of them are in any of the three cities.
I would agree with you. I think we're probably set up a little better to do that work, but I do know that would need legislation and quite a bit of effort to get that reworked, because you can imagine the cities, downtowns, you know, the mayor there is struggling with economic development. He wants to make it nice. His CHIPS money already isn't going far enough. So if we were to take that to do some of this work, it may add insult to injury there. So, you know, it's a healthy dialogue going forward, and I'm sure with the local elected officials and the state electeds, that could be raised as an item for further discussion.
Hey, Lance, this is Joe Donat here. Just out of curiosity, when did you have that conversation with the mayor?
First time was a couple of weeks ago. He asked about doing the segment of 9W north of Broadway as part of his economic development. And I tried getting a hold of him in the last couple of weeks to send him an email, but I haven't got back to him. But I did our analysis and review in-house and was told, nope, that's their responsibility.
Yeah, noted. Let me give you my cell phone, Lance, if there's ever an issue with communication here. It's area code 914-325-6962.
6962.
Yep.
Yep. No problem.
Not to beat a dead horse, but just to make it a point, and then I'll move on. But don't towns get CHIPS money and also have special state funding? I mean, you're running through the town of Newburgh, and they get CHIPS as well. Why should it be one or the other for the cities?
I think, like all of us, Harry, you're seeing that the demand on infrastructure rehabilitation far exceeds the resources. So, I mean, I'm sure, you know, the cities are using every ounce of money they can. The dollar just doesn't go as far as they used to. And the needs are growing.
Well, thanks for
Harry, one more comment. This is Jacob Wheel. The same thing applies to that 17M and Wawayanda. You're stopping at City Line, which I understand why. But if there's any way the state can help out with the local roads that the cities are in charge of, that will be great, without compromising, obviously, taking away from our CHIP funding, because the CHIP funding is very much needed by us. Jacob, understood. In a couple of instances, we've had a success with state electeds getting money to support that endeavor. Like anybody else, our money only goes so long. And as much as I'd love to help the city of Middletown, city of Newburgh, I need the legislation support or the state electeds to get money for that type of betterment. I mean, it's well needed, we all know. I just don't have the ability to spend funds there unless I get appropriate approvals. Understood. Thank you.
Harry Jack Farr, City of Port Jervis. And I just want to reiterate on that in the city. Most of my CHIPS funds this year will be doing state highways. we're going to be doing 6 and 209 in the city. So all of my CHIPS funding will be going to doing that a state highway this year.
Right, interesting. Well, it's a good topic to revisit maybe after this virus leaves us and we get back to some kind of normalized situation. But thank you, Lance, for your enlightenment on the topic. Okay, having gone through all that, is there any other comments or questions regarding Resolution 2020-11? If not, I'll ask for a motion to support that.
I'll make the motion, Jacob to wheel.
I'll second the motion, Scott Manley.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those that are opposed? Hearing none, the resolution is passed. Thank you all. Ashley, I think you had an item with Julie under new business?
We're actually going to move that to the October Planning Committee meeting.
Okay, well, then I'll open up to the entire board here. Does anybody have any new business they would like to bring to our attention today? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on to Orange County Transportation Council staff reports. Ashley?
So there is a conflict with the October 2nd Tuesday meeting date. So we're proposing to move the October Planning Committee meeting to October 21st at 10 a.m. It's a Wednesday. I'll send out the save the date, but if that is a big conflict for a lot of people, we can revisit it. But as of right now, October 21st at 10.
Okay,
And then-
Travis, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to move on to the next update, unless you had something, Harry.
Go ahead.
So the Cooperative Community Program call for projects, the solicitation went out to all the municipalities, and the county is also eligible. So that should be in your email. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, whether it be about the program itself or a specific project that you're thinking about doing. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions. And then the last update I had is that we're undertaking counts on the Heritage Trail. We're going to be counting tomorrow and Saturday, planning staff and OCTC staff. So at the October meeting, we're going to update you on that program and how the counts go and the results of them. So just something to look forward to in October.
What is it? What are you trying to do? I'm sorry.
We're
Count?
doing counts on the Heritage Trail in Goshen, Chester, and Monroe.
I got you. So how many people are using the trail? Got you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I can tell you that that is our second most popular park destination in the county. Ashley, anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay, Travis Ewald, are you on the line?
I'm on the line, Harry. Yep.
Any reports from DPW?
I can give updates for our projects we have going on. The Heritage Trail Segment 2 from Hartley Road in Goshen to the city of Milltown is the item 4 has been put down all the way up to just about Palmer Road, and this week they're starting on all the railing on the bridges and the fencing along the trail, which will be followed behind with the paving of that section. The Pedestrian Safety Improvement Project, PSAP, we're working with DOT on the design approval, and we're anticipating that construction for that will be in the spring or summer of 2021. Otisville Viaduct Bridge, same thing, we're working through design approval, and we expect to have that project let late summer, early fall of 2021, with construction going through the summer of 2022. And we just had our public information meeting for the New York Culvert Program for on County Route 12, Lower Road. We have a culvert on there. We had that last Thursday, I believe, in the town of Wawayanda. And we expect that project will be let in May of 2021. And the construction of that culvert will be anytime between then and December of 2022, whenever they're packaging a bunch of culverts throughout the New York State to be replaced. So sometime during that time period, that culvert will be done. That's all I have really for updates on our project.
All right, thank you. Rob Parrington, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Harry.
Go ahead.
I don't have any real specific updates, except we're working with New York State DOT up in the main office to get some of the CARES funding out to Coach USA in hopes, so they can get some more service back. Because, due to COVID, they're still very limited as what they can operate because of the situation. All the local operators are back now, and it's running smoothly. As far as we know, there haven't been any issues, so that's good. Some of the buses now have driver barriers, which is helpful. And there's, plenty of federal funding available to help support them, to keep them going, so that's a good thing.
Okay, as far as staff reports go, I'll ask if others there can give us an update. One I'm particularly interested in, and Olu Folarin from the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. What's going on with the West Shore Railroad, Port Jervis line? And that's number one. And number two is Orange County does not have a representative on the MTA board right now. The county executive has submitted 3 names to the governor a couple of months ago. Haven't heard anything back. Can you update us on both of those things? West Shore line and the Orange County representative. Olu?
Yeah. What do you want me to report on what? Sorry.
Well, there was a report, maybe something has changed. I read a headline saying that the MTA is in such difficult financial straits that they are planning to possibly close down the Port Jervis train line that goes from Port Jervis to Hoboken. That is a major event for Orange County and Rockland County. I just wondered if you had anything to share.
Yeah, I don't have any official position on that, and I'm not privy to that report, but of course, it is a knowledge of everybody that MTA is facing a huge financial difficulty at this time. So, but I don't think any position has been taken on anything at this point.
Well, it's just bring it back to the people you work with down at the MTA. It is a very serious concern to Orange County. I know also in speaking with the county executive in Rockland County, to Rockland County as well. And the other question I had, and you probably can't comment on this either, is our representative, Susan Metzger, has stepped down from the MTA board, and we have submitted names to the governor's office for a replacement for her. She did an excellent job for many years, but right now Orange County has nobody representing our interests on the MTA board. When will that be moving along, if you know?
Well, that's going to be the boss decision, and I don't have anything to say to that. But if you have, do you have a copy of that, whatever you are alluding to? Can you share with me? Because I'm not aware of that, yes, please, if you can. Especially on the 2 issues you just brought up. Yeah. If you can send me any documentation, I can share it with my heads up, and then something can be said back to you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's just that this West Shore line, the Port Jervis line, is of critical importance to the county.
I quite understand that, and I actually appreciate your concern on that. But if you let me have any documentation to that effect, I'll be able to discuss it, with those who are above me as well.
I'll send you some information very shortly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lizzie Phillip, anything on the Thruway Authority?
We have a new division director. Brent Howard joined as the new division director.
Okay.
He was here before, like in another position, and he was in our list in one of the attendees for the Orange County Council.
Okay, and let's see. Thank you. And Lance, I was just wondering if you had anything else you wanted to add to today?
The only thing I wanted to mention is that we are going to start the repointing of the Hawks Nest wall on 97 north of Port Jervis there. I know that's been long overdue. There's graffiti in there, but we're going to try and get in there before the snow flies and get that repointed and looking a lot better than it does now.
Great, great.
Okay. Actually, Lance or Sandra, I was just wondering if you had an update on the Pell study on 17.
Nothing official yet. I mean, they're off the ground. They're moving a little bit. They're getting a lot of, I think they're doing some stakeholder outreach right now. As you know, with studies, it takes quite a while to get everything going. I'm happy WSP is doing it because they have some historical background, as well as our former regional director, Bill Gorton, working for them, who has a lot of Orange County institutional knowledge that he's gleaned over the years. So Nothing official. I'm actually happy it's kind of been quiet. Let them do their work, let them do the study, and then maybe post-COVID we get the results out and can look at what opportunities they may have targeted for future investments. I like it when I get music in the background. That's good.
No extra charge. That's it for the agenda.
Actually, Harry,
Yes.
if we could back up a second, I'm sorry. For TIP Amendment 2006, I put up an old copy, and so we're actually missing the Middletown pin in there, the one I was showing you. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody, I don't know if you want to re-vote on it, Harry. We had talked about this at the Planning Committee meeting in October. So you should be seeing on the screen the Middletown Traffic Operations Stage 1 pin. It's to increase the construction funds for the federal fiscal years 22 and 23. And those offsets are coming from our block pins on the OCTC TIP. We had decided to move those funds into the Middletown Stage 1 pin. So that's part of that amendment. I'm sorry.
So this is Mike Sweeten. We did not agree to move the outer years in at the plan.
No, not the outer years. This is just 2020.
But that's
Here,
not
I'll
what, that's not what it's not what it shows.
This should just show the 2020. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. This should just be
I don't
showing
see that on what was emailed.
Oh, no.
Which,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's not part of my package.
I thought.
No, the one I sent, the meeting materials, I think might have the wrong draft.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Let me double check.
This is 2020-06.
Yes, there was an old version and then there's a newer version that had the Middletown project in it where we moved the 2020 funds in the block pin to the Stage 1 project.
Yeah, it's not part of my package.
Ashley,
Yeah, Nicole?
the 2020 funds were moved on G, I believe. This was for moving in the other funds. So if we don't want to do that,
Oh,
a different
okay.
conversation.
I'm sorry, I was
No, no,
mixing them up,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, I think one of them was administrative. This is Jacob Tawil. The rest
Yes.
of it is to, what we agreed to is not to use the CMAQ funding, but to use the other funding in there and appropriate the funding for the projects throughout. Can you go back to that screen so I can see what I'm looking at? Yeah, no.
Those funds actually, I'm sorry, Mike Sweeten's actually correct in saying that we hadn't decided to appropriate those funds yet in the outer years. I misspoke, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Admin Mod G, where we did move the 2020 funds. We had drafted this version of Admin Mod 6 with the Middletown funding with the outer years coming in as just a way to look at it, but we hadn't actually decided to move the funding. So Mike Sweeten, sorry about that, you were correct. So Jacob, we're gonna talk about this in October. I'm sorry, everyone, for the confusion.
No, I thought we did discuss it.
No. What we agreed at the planning meeting, to my recollection, is to give you the money, the 1.7 or whatever the number was that you the project going. We had no discussion. We talked about, let's see what the effect is on the CMAQ block grant and the large urban. The chart that Ashley, that showed up somewhat unexpectedly showed all that money being moved already. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be moved, but we haven't had any discussion of it. We need to do that. And there's no, unless you can contradict me, there's no urgency because that money is not available to 22 or 23.
I know.
Have a discussion of it, Jacob, that's all.
Right. No, I understand. I appreciate that, Mike. I thought we did because the reason is we're going to go out for bid and we're going to bid out the whole project and we're going to say the construction is going to take place in 2022, 2023. Can you go back to that screen, Ashley, the August screen that you had a minute ago? That's the urgency of it, Mike. I thought we did.
I thought you had mentioned that you're going out to bid. You had a base bid that was gonna carry the money that we were putting in there for you, and that you had 2 alternate bids, correct?
Yes, but those alternate in there, they will commit the fund if they become within budget. I mean, we're hoping there's going to be less than the $17 million. That's what we're hoping for. But the point is, Ashley, can you go back to the screen? Ashley, can you hear me?
Which one? This one?
The August screen where you just showed all the funding, the proposed funding to be moved. The August screen for Middletown.
Oh, okay. Yes, give me a second. Keep
The one
going.
you just showed a minute ago.
Yeah.
Then I can have it fresh in front of me. The discussion was, why are we using the CMAQ and try to shift everything back to the large urban? Because the large urban is harder to use, and we'll let the CMAQ to be available for everybody else. I thought that's what I got out of the conversation. And we were all in agreement because there is no other projects waiting to use this funding, is to appropriate it.
Well, the city of Newburgh, for instance, has 2 projects, one in 2021, one in 2022. What if they suddenly, like Middletown, needs more money?
Well,
And we've allocated it all, because what you're asking is to strip all the money out of 22 and most out of 23 to the one project. I'm just saying there should be some discussion of that on a broader scale, that's all.
I'm sorry to have confused everyone, but Mike's correct. We did at the August meeting agree to continue the discussion, but no one agreed to allocate the outer year funding to the project yet. But we did, in an administrative modification, allocate the 2020 funds to the project already. I'm sorry to have confused everyone. So we'll continue the discussion in October.
Ashley, I know you said that and you apologize. I understand, I appreciate that. But my understanding is we agreed to move this money in there because at the time you were asked point blank, are there any other projects in there that we would need that could potentially need this money? And the discussion was, let's leave the CMAQ, shift everything to the large urban, and then we can appropriate it. This way we can put it out for bid. We're going to be bidding this project, putting it out for bid, hopefully in November. And we're going to say to the contractor, here's the money that's going to be potentially available. Phase 2 and phase 3, they're going to be available in 2022 and 2023. And we can't really put it out in good conscience and without knowing exactly that the fund is available.
You're putting out 2 alternative bids. Maybe you fund the 2 alternatives, maybe you don't. I mean, you're not jeopardizing the basic project.
No. Well, I know, I understand, Mike. I appreciate that. I don't know what you're going to gain by buying this time from here until next. When is the next discussion, Ashley?
It's October 21st.
Yeah, October 21st. By then we will have a solid. I mean, I don't know what are you going to get between now and October 21st, to be honest with you.
Well, Jacob, there are other members of the committee. I just mentioned 2 Newburgh projects. I mean, your project escalated from half of what it's costing. Who's to say that those 2 projects that City of Newburgh has on the tip aren't going to escalate as well? And so what do we do? I'm just asking that there's a discussion of that.
Well, actually, we can't take any
What's done
action
at
on
the
this today
planning?
because it wasn't shared with everyone prior. So, and,
Right, this is just a draft. I misspoke, Harry.
It's okay. No more 3-day weekends for you.
Apparently not.
No. But look, we had this discussion, Mike. We had this discussion last meeting. I know Harry wasn't there, but we had this discussion in there. And our fear is, I mean, if Newburgh, they're going to go, I mean, they must know by now if they're over budget or not. Newburgh is on the line. Are they going to be needing more? I mean, we are here. We're going out for bid, and we know how much we need. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just going to delay us from going out for bid. If we're going to have to hold this discussion back to October 21st.
I think, Jacob, in my opinion, you might be more successful by having this discussed thoroughly in October than pushing for a vote today.
No, we did. My understanding is that, to be honest with you, I thought it was. That's what I thought. I thought it was. It's going to be on today's agenda.
It's not.
Is anyone else that was in that meeting on the call?
John Ravella's on the call. I have the same understanding that Mike had from that meeting that we were going to get information on others that may need CMAQ and it was going to be sent out.
No, you,
Is that not correct?
well,
I
that's
think,
not,
I think we in the
that's
planning
not,
department have to retreat.
Harry, that's not my recollection, because the answer was, at the time, we sent out a survey to each one that has a project for, on the tip.
Yes.
And each person responded already, and Ashley has the response. Orange County Transportation Council, they have the response. And there is nobody that is in need of that money. We
So far as
discussed.
Newburgh's concerned, I mean, we have no knowledge that we'll need the additional funds for the CMAC project, but it's also a little too early in the design process to know for sure as well.
Yeah,
I
well,
think we should defer this to October and have the
What's that?
materials sent ahead of time to everybody.
Harry, this is Al Fusco.
Yes.
Maybe the chance we could move the meeting up to have this discussion earlier than October 21st. That's quite long and far away.
I would open that up to the group, and if it's convenient for the group and the group agrees, fine.
Fine with me. I'm happy to meet earlier.
Al, you were on the line at the time, right?
It was my understanding that they were going to be polled and that we would have the results for this meeting of who might need future monies. Now,
No, they were already polled, Al. That questionnaire went out. Ashley's response at the time, I don't keep mentioning Ashley, is everybody was polled. All the surveys has been called in already before last time's meeting. They already know the answers of who's going where and who wants to go where and which project is ready to go for construction.
Right, exactly, Jake. That's what I was saying. Is that
Yeah, we discussed it. There is no additional polling. There is no additional polling to which project is going to be out, which project is going to need more money or something like that, because we already have the answer. We had the answer before last meeting, and that's why we discussed it.
Well,
And now we're just going to delay it more. What?
When we have a project that's ready to move forward, we all rally for it. Now it's Middletown. The next time it'll be Newburgh. So I think we should move forward and allocate the additional funds. You can always put them around later too if Newburgh is in dire need of some design money, because, like they said, they haven't designed it yet.
What you don't understand is the money is not available to 2022. If this project goes out to bid next month, we're not getting access to $4 million until 2022. That's what I don't understand here. You can put this bid out with your base bid that you have the money for, with alternatives that cannot be built until 2022 at the earliest, because there is no money.
And that's
It's not like money sitting in the bank. There's no money there.
Right. Understand, Mike. And Mike, that's what I understand. That's what I'm having trouble, I guess, explaining. It's me. Is when you bid the project, you're bidding it into phases or alternate. You got base bid that's going to start immediately for the $7.5 million. I know that project is off the screen again, that spreadsheet. The other money, when we bid it, we'll tell the contractor, you're going to have this money available in 2023, and this money is 2024. The contractor knows that there is funding available for it. That's the whole thing. You're just building it over 3 years or 4 years. It doesn't. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But for some reason, I'm not successful. You need to know that the money is available now to be able to bid it, so the contractor will know that this is a 3-year project or 4-year project. It's not going to be a 1-year project and then what if, and if they get it and if they don't get it and all that stuff. That is a huge advantage for us to show that the funding is there for 2022, 2023, 2021, 2020. It happens all the time with these big projects in there. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's very reassuring for the contractor to know that funding is there. It just don't throw a number at it. We'll never be able to afford to do it. That's the proper way of bidding these long-term projects, multi-year projects. And that's what I'm trying to say all the time. It's not to anybody's disadvantage. You still have millions of dollars sitting there for the CMAQ funding in there that's easily usable for anybody else who might need it. We're not sucking everything out for the 4 or 5 years.
You don't have millions of dollars sitting there. You're taking it all.
No, we're not. We're not. I don't have the numbers. I'm sorry. I thought we discussed it all. I didn't bring my file with me. I thought that discussion was over. Ashley, how much money do we have left? You had at the last sheet of your tip, you have how much money is remaining in the CMAQ and large urban? There are millions of dollars remaining.
No, in
There-
2022, there's
there is
$800,000.
Oh, yeah,
And-
we knew that. No, we knew that. Who wants money in 2022? Speak out now.
You do, apparently.
Of course we do. And we're applying for it, we're requesting it. Who else? You're saying you only have $800,000 left. So what else are you gonna do with it?
Well, let's have this
This
conversation in
conversation
October.
needs to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's have this conversation in October, just for the basic reason that the information was not shared with the entire group prior to this meeting. And I wasn't at the August meeting, so it's all new to me.
Well, I appreciate that, Harry, but if you miss the meeting, I mean, it doesn't mean that whatever we talked about is
True, that's a
I know
different
you're not
issue.
saying that. I know you're not saying that, but at the same time, you gotta appreciate in here, we're under the gun in here, we're under the clock, and we're rebuilding Orange County. We're not gonna sit, the money to sit there because in case somebody might ask for it in the future. We had a detailed discussion, Harry, when you were in there.
Right. Well, listen, I think if, we should wait till October, have a continuation of this discussion, and it won't be too late for you, or
Well, if
anybody else might be interested.
If that is the consensus of everybody, that's fine. We can wait till October 21st. And we'll have to, obviously, we're not going to be able to advertise the project for bid until we have that meeting, because again, it makes a huge difference in there for the contractor to know that he's bidding on multi-year project where the funding is available, or he's bidding on something that is a dream that may not happen, may or may not happen. A huge difference in there when
Okay,
we know
and
that
then we
the
can
money is
have
available.
our planning staff provide some detail to everyone prior to the meeting.
Why don't we see about moving it up a little bit too? That might help.
We can look at it. We'll ask Ashley to look at it and see if that can be done.
Thank you.
Is there any other?
I'll
business?
email out to everyone.
What's that?
I'll email out a different date
I'm
to
sorry,
everyone.
I'm sorry. Since we're having the discussion, Ashley, can you just go back to the tip, the last page of the tip? It tells you how much funding is available. How much funding is remaining after we take this money or we request this money to be taken for Middletown project?
So the page that's currently showing for the CMAQ blocks and the STP large urban, you can see in the two lines that they are leaving 3.787 in 2024 for CMAQ and the same amount for STP large urban in 2023 and 1.292 in 2024.
So you're talking about $10 million left, give or take. $10 million left for everybody else, yes?
Yes, that would be left in the block pin.
Yes, so it's gonna be $10 million available for everybody else.
Let us pray. Okay, let's take it up in October. Is there any other issues by any of the members to bring to our attention today? If not, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
I'll second Scott Manley.
Thank you, Scott. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate all your help.
Thanks, Harry. Talk soon.
Thank you.
You good.
Thanks, everyone.